So I'm gonna have a non-spoiler review and a spoiler review for Cruella because unlike other Disney remakes where there's just nothing to say about this movie, there is surprisingly a lot to say about this movie, even though movie is total garbage, just absolutely terrible, atrocious, and just ugh. So let's start with the positives. The costume design for this movie and how the movie looks, all the technical aspects, great. This is definitely a competent movie that had money put into it. That's what you could say about it. The movie looked great. It was acted great. Emma Stone and Emma Thompson all give great performances, and the whole cast is actually doing a pretty good job. They're very light. They almost make you kind of like these despicable characters that you shouldn't like because it's based on Cruella DeVille, a person who has the word cruel and also has a name that is made to sound like devil. And that leads me into the negative with this movie. This movie should not exist. When I saw the trailers for this movie, I was like, who is this aimed at? It's Disney's Joker. And I know people keep saying that, but it's really true. It's the same concept. You take a famous villain and you give him an origin story, but the opposite approach is done here. Essentially, they make Cruella seem like the underdog who's rising against the evil people who have wronged her in her life, and she's becoming a stronger person. But this is a person who's sick and demented. I think she is actually more evil in this movie than possibly Joker is in the Joker movie. I mean, it's actually that kind of craziness. And Emma Stone plays her very charismatically, but I shouldn't like this character. The writing indicates that I shouldn't like this character. This movie is focused on a character who I should not like, that the film is trying to force me to sympathize and like, and it gets to ridiculous points. And I also will say I did enjoy the 70s kind of soundtrack because this movie's like set in the 70s. It kind of helped that aesthetic, but I think it was overdone at times. It wasn't nearly as bad as like Suicide Squad where they cut to a song every minute. It was close to that level in the first half, but I think they dialed it back as we got more and more into the movie. And I did like that the film was unexpected. Like, it had some interesting twists and stuff, but that didn't really make it good. This movie was not a good movie. No one should watch this movie. And by gall, no one should pay $30 for this shit on Disney Plus. Because it's shit. It's a terrible movie. If you saw the trailer and said, "Hey, I probably might enjoy that," then maybe you'll enjoy it. But you still shouldn't support these Disney remakes because these are things that should not be made. No one should watch these. It's unfortunate that they keep being made, and this is it. It was just a terrible film that, unlike the other Disney remakes, felt a little bit inspired. Like there was actually a director, and it wasn't made by committee, and it felt like there were people who tried on this movie and put their heart into it and stuff. But you're still working with a project that should not be made, and it shows why these Disney remakes should not be made. Because what you're doing is you're essentially making something that no matter how much effort or care or love or passion you put into these, they're still not going to work. Because they were never going to be good, because you're working with something that should not be touched or changed into whatever the hell they're doing with it. So, yeah, I'm giving this a D. You know what? Let's give it an F. I want to give it a D because it has, some passion and love to it. But at the end of the day, this film's just atrocious. This is what people talked about when they were saying Joker was gonna start riots. It's causing you to sympathize with a villain. No, this movie tries to make you sympathize with a villain. Joker plays it like a tragedy. This movie did not play it like that. It played it again, that she's someone who's rising above the people who've wronged her in her life and becoming this kind of punk rebel, and it's garbage. Absolute garbage. F. 1 out of 10.